In this exercise, we're going to create a simple bike using polar methods and running object snaps, much like the bike that you see on the screen here. I will begin by opening a new drawing file. I'll type in new, and I'm just going to use the default AutoCAD template, the ACAD DWT template. I'll go ahead and set up the drawing using the following drawing parameters. I'll type in units to set my units to decimal. I'll give them a precision of 0. Let's say OK. For my limits, my drawing area, I'll type in limits. I want the lower left corner to be 0, 0. Enter, and I want the upper right corner to be 2500, 1800. I'm going to be working in millimeters for my bike, thus the big drawing area. I'll hit enter, and then I'll do a zoom all, Z enter, A enter, and that forces the entire drawing area to fit on my screen and display it. Before I start my step-by-step instructions for my bike, I want to set up my OSNAP and my status bar. I'll go ahead and type in OSNAP at the command line, and I want to have the endpoint, the center point, the intersection, and the extension object snaps on, as indicated by the check mark in the box. I'll say OK, and then I'll go down to the status bar and make sure that polar tracking object snap and object snap tracking are depressed. Everything else can be turned off. So polar tracking, object snap, and object snap tracking. And with those settings established, I'll now begin by drawing a circle to represent my front wheel with a diameter of 550. C enter, D enter for diameter, 550, enter, and I have my my circle. Let me put it in the lower left corner though. I'll go C enter. I'll pick on the lower left corner, and then I'll type in D for diameter and 550 for that diameter. Maybe I'll move that over just a little here. For the front fork, it's 600 units long at a 75-degree angle. So with polar tracking, I can go into the line command, L enter. Using my object snap, I can select that center point, and then the polar entry would be at 600 for the distance, angle 75. Hit enter, and my front fork is drawn. I'll go ahead and hit enter again to exit the line command, and then I'll go back into the line command to begin drawing the first portion of the frame, the horizontal portion that attaches to the front forks. To begin the first point, I'm going to use object snap tracking, and I do this by moving the crosshairs onto the topmost endpoint of this fork, and then moving it and moving it again until I get a little plus mark there. See that little green plus mark? And then I can track down with my crosshairs in the direction that I want to go, which is down the fork. And I want to start exactly 75 millimeters down. So I'll type in 75. You got to make sure that it's still tracking down along that fork. So I'll move my crosshairs and I'll hit enter. Notice the start point for my line is exactly 75 millimeters down on that fork. Now I could have done a construction line there or drawn another line down, but I'd have to go back and delete it later. This is a much cleaner method using object snap tracking. Okay, using the polar tracking, I can lock on to 0 degrees. I know that I want to go a distance of 600, so I'll type in 600, enter. And then I need another frame section that's 530 millimeters at a 255 degree angle. So I'll use polar again at, the distance is 530, angle symbol, and then 255 for the degrees, enter. And finally, for the last portion here, I'll just use a object snap endpoint or intersection where the horizontal frame meets the fork. I'll hit enter again to exit the line command, and then I'll go back into the line command and begin the portion of the frame that starts at the crank and heads toward the back wheel, a distance of 500. Using polar tracking again, I'll lock on to 0 degrees and then I'll type in the distance of 500, enter, and then I'll just use the endpoint object snap to go back up to the seat post portion of the frame. Click, enter to get out of the line command. And finally, the rear wheel has a diameter of 550. I'll type in C, enter to get into the circle command, pick on the endpoint, object snap, and then D, enter, and 550 for that diameter. Whoops, I forgot my 0. Let me undo that, go back into circle one more time, endpoint, D for diameter, 550, enter. I've now completed my bike, so I'll go ahead and end this session.